All right, so this is office hour, March 7th. So there's a question about this assignment, the Pokemon API assignment. So this is actually one of the Axios one. And this is actually one of the major things that we wanted to kind of go over, and it's called dot notation, or accessing your object. So to know how to access your object, you actually want to be able to print out that object. So after line 11, let me use my annotation again. Right here, could you press enter before set Pokemon function? And then on this line, could you do console log response?
On this line right here?
Yeah, on that line right there. Cool. Response. Cool. And just for better syntax, you can actually press enter up to before console and everything. There we go. So now we're going to go to the browser to see, okay, what does this response look like? So we're going back to the browser. Cool. Go there. We're going to refresh and scroll up to the top. Oh, wait, there's one right there at the bottom. What's up is fine. It's the same thing, but yeah. So now this is our whole response object. So when you send your request, it's a GET request, right? You're saying, hey, I'm sending us to this API. I need to get some information. So it's going to say, hey, I got that request. I'm going to send you this response. So this is your response. And when we do response.data, we're saying, hey, in my response object, there is another object called data. And in that there, I want some information. So remember that the map function only works on arrays. Maps do not work on objects. So you need to make sure that you are getting that information, and the information is actually an object.
So whether you like Pokemon.data?
Well, closer, but you wouldn't put it there because remember that's what
I want to iterate through.
Yeah.
So map's not going to work on an object, but if I put the data there, that's technically the array.
Closer, but we wouldn't do it here. So we can remove that there. And that's actually correct. You actually need to change your setter. This function, because here you already have the data. Data is the object that you're already getting, but something is in that object. The information that you want is in that object there. So do you remember in the console, what will go after response? So response is the object, data is the object, right? In this data object, we have some other stuff in here. What do we want to like go into?
Oh, if I want dot results. Is it data? Or is it so?
No, it's only one data. It's just, this is just saying, hey, what's in here? And if you click on this, it brings it down for you. So this is what's here is actually on this line. Yeah.
Okay.
So
that makes sense.
how would you access this?
Data.results.
Well, you have to add the dot results. Yeah. Very good. So now you go back to your browser. It should be good to.
But bam, there should be Pokemon, and there is Pokemon.
There is Pokemon.
All 1,000 of them.
Yes. So this error is extremely common. Almost every student, including myself, has gotten this error because remember, maps only work on functions. Okay, I'm sorry, maps only work on arrays. Map functions only work on arrays. So if you're getting map is not a function, check your data structure. And a lot of times either A, you forgot to put it as an array, or B, the data that you're trying to access is not an array, okay? So there are gonna be times that you're gonna have to use an empty square brackets, and there's times when you have to use empty curly brackets. This is for the curly brackets are for objects, and if you want to display one item. This is for, the array is for multiple items, so for a get all. So if you, any type of rule of thumb, at least here in a program, if you want to access a list, you have to use an array. So this will be empty square brackets. if you want to access one item, whether that's a get one, an update one, you want to use curly bracket. Super important. Okay.
I'll mess that up. Don't worry. I'll come ask.
Yeah, this is for anyone that's listening. So does anyone have questions on that of how we were able to kind of get that answer? Does that make sense? Did I lose anyone? We have 4 minutes, but just want to kind of give that time to anyone that may have had questions on this.
Cool.
All right.
That was awesome. Wonderful.
All right. I guess I explained it really awesomely. I get, or you will DM me. and
No,
say,
I'm
"Hey,
just
I'm
really
looking
far
at this."
behind. Don't worry. It's just everyone else is like, I know the answer to this question. I've done this before. And I'm like, I have not. So
Yeah, no. Someone asked, can you just repeat what you should curly bracket? Yes. So for the curly brackets one, let me just, if you can just say there, Robert, I'm going to just use my annotation again and draw on your screen right here. I'm gonna use, let's use the text one. So when you're doing your state, let's just say you want to show one Pokemon. I'm actually one Pokemon. Set one Pokemon equals use state, parentheses, curly bracket, and let's see here. Cool. So I didn't do this in one line, so hopefully forgive me. Let me actually see if I can do this in one line. Sorry. Oh boy. But hopefully you can see that there. But essentially, I'm gonna see if I can make this a little bit bigger. Oh, thank you. Yeah, Robert will type it out. So when you are trying to access one thing, you're going to need to use the curly bracket because you want to be able to display or update that one item. So it has to get the ID and all that type of stuff. We're gonna go over that some more during lecture. But when you're trying to use an Axios call to put that API in, you need to make sure your state has its empty curly bracket and not the, use my annotation again, and not, so you don't want this for one object. You can't, because you can't iterate through an object. You can iterate through an array. So it has to be an empty curly bracket to look at one item or to update one item. So we're gonna do some more practice when we do like the get one today and I believe the update tomorrow, but this is just really important for your state. So whenever you're doing anything, think about, hey, am I doing a list? I'm sorry, an array. If I'm gonna do an array, I wanna use this empty square bracket. If I'm trying to get one item or display an item or update an item, I want to use this curly bracket over here when setting my state. Does that make
hypothetically,
sense?
couldn't I take that whole response.data and update it to use state and then use dot notation to get inside to the .data.results?
No,
No, even though it's one object.
because if you change this to an object, you would then have to do
No, I'm not
more
saying
work
that.
over
So
here.
okay, yeah, I would just have to be a lot more dot notation. Like I could
Yes,
technically do that, and it would
yes,
just be Pokemon dot or one Pokemon or whatever dot data dot results dot whatever before I could even get close to mapping it.
yes. If you want to do it that way, yes, you can do that.
Hey, can
Yeah,
we, sorry guys, it's 8 o'clock. I want to go ahead and get
yep,
class started on time.
no
Perfect. Sorry
problem.
about that. You guys are
Yeah, no
welcome to
worries. So
talk
that's,
after.
yeah, no worries. So I'm gonna stop the recording now.